Do you need some energy? After making 2 videos that are very long about a game that I technically don't really like, I think it's time that I actually talk about something energetic, something with raw energy, something that makes me feel alive, and an excuse to gush. This is Unbeatable White Label, the most stylish and punchiest rhythm game you can play right now. Self-described as an anime-style rhythm adventure game where music is illegal and you do crimes, it's a short demo for the upcoming full version of the game. Yeah, this is a demo, so for the uninitiated, I want to show you why this is one of my most anticipated things ever.
You should be sitting up straight, but without stiffness, and should feel comfortable. Don't ever let yourself become tense. Now let's type some more on the home row key. Ready?
Oh shit, he wasn't joking. Simple. The controls are very, very simple. You only need to press 2 buttons to hit notes, up or down, and you need to keep track of where in the stage the notes are coming from, left or right. The game will handle the perspective for you, but you will still need to stay vigilant for when it happens because the game can become relentless. There are a few note types disguised as enemies that you're meant to attack. A standard single, a double, a switch up, a hold, a chain, and a mashing, with hazards you either need to jump over or duck under. All of these are simple to understand and deal with, but comparing this to other games like mooooooosic isn't enough to get the message across because Unbeatable is absolutely its own thing, and what sets it apart from pretty much any other rhythm game is the oversaturated, bleeding with vibes, the art team did not know when to say no presentation. This game's presentation is genuinely something to behold and study. To make it clear, I did not manipulate or edit this footage. Unbeatable may be a rhythm game, but the animation, camera, and director design choices make it one of the best action games out there. Every successful hit doesn't pass by like an acknowledgement of an input with a small graphic and sound. That would be logical for pretty much every single rhythm game, as visual clarity is a priority for rhythm gamers that need accuracy. No, every punch, kick, whack, and slam is accentuated with a violent jerk at the camera as the enemy flies off and away from the screen with effects in tow. You are a jumpy and quick hitter, and playing this game with a controller, the attacks pulse with such precision that it pumps the energy from the game into my veins. Its attacks are pronounced with a clang on every hit, so when you don't hit, I pretty much get a physical reaction, despite the game not rewarding you with a mechanic for keeping the combo going. I'd comment on the animation work, which is also really punchy and springy, but while writing the script, I brought up a lot of comparisons which don't sell the game enough for me. Sure, there's a lot of Studio Trigger and a lot of Scott Pilgrim DNA that this game radiates pretty much, but the game comes together in its own way where it goes way beyond those things as comparison points. The game's aesthetic is layered upon layered, with filters, chromatic aberration, and effects that recreate the environment and aesthetic to that of a 90s anime. A haze only experienced by human thoughts, where memories are relieved with dense melancholy. It's what the game's going for, and while these kinds of intentional imperfections would taint most other mere mortal games, Unbeatable captures its vibe with no reserve for restraint or uncertainty. It knows exactly what it wants to go for, and it uses this to tell a very specific story. Yeah, there's a small story present in the game, but the store page describes it as a small side story in the grand scheme of things. It's very brief and doesn't really establish a lot in terms of character motivations, world, or even a plot to speak of. What it does establish is extremely raw emotion. There are about 2 locales in the game that you can actually walk around in as the game's protagonist, Beat. There's some things that prompt dialogue, sometimes in which you can choose what to actually say, but it's less descriptive of what it is you're interacting with, but Beat's own thoughts of them and her experiences with them. There's only one proper conversation with characters in this game, and it stuck with me. Very distinct members of the Banshees and are talking over each other, one overpowering, interrupting the rest dynamically through text. You can tell how the characters speak and intend to speak so clearly without using a voiced cast, and I do like how it's presented as well as how it's written. As for the rest of the story, it's discovered by playing the game's main soundtrack, where you'll get a glimpse into Beat's past before the gameplay starts. The way she speaks to the player is like she's either talking to herself or an imaginary friend, breaking down every little detail and emotion. The memories are still framed when she literally moves around it. In these moments, there's a lot that you can discern from Beat as a person. Her insecurities, her failures, her struggles, and how she looks back on them with a good amount of regret and melancholy. But she explains all of this as if you already know her, and despite the game never sitting down to establish who she is and why she does what she does, I somewhat feel like I already know. What I can only suspect is that she isn't able to have these conversations with anybody but herself. She harnesses these moments and brings them into music, marked by the song itself and returning to main menu, going back to that memory frame to bookend it. And I think it's great. And speaking of music, alright, all of this is fine and dandy, and for an indie game, it's pretty damn good. But what impressed me the most is the 100% fully original soundtrack. Let me say this again, a 100% fully original soundtrack. Now, why do I think this is such a big deal? Realistically, it's not, because every game has an original soundtrack. But for a rhythm game to not rely on licensed music or commissioned one-offs, and instead commit to creating truly original pieces with complete creative control and direction, is something I believe is really worthy of massive respect, and a sign of dedication to the heights D-Cell are aiming for to give this game a unique identity. The main act here is Peak Divide, with some songs produced by some other leads on the team and some remixes. But the main soundtrack featured here, herein referred to as demo tapes. Oh. Woo! Seeing how aggressive Unbeatable's gameplay actually is, I was expecting a full indie garage rock list, but there is a good variety of songs on offer here genre-wise. There's the loudness of garage, electric, oriental type music, pop rock. There is a lot to like. And a lot of them are fucking bangers. I should disclose, not all songs that appear in demo tapes, which you can support at this link here, are actually playable charts in the game yet, but for what is in here, Jesus. I'm not one to immediately assume the interests of the common folk on the internet, but if this is a taste for things to come, I am more than confident that this game's soundtrack will set the internet on fire. All of these songs are of exceptional quality, and well worth a listen outside of the game. It's genuinely difficult to pick a favourite from this entire list. It's all really, really good. And sometimes when the song hits just right in the gameplay, yes! Yes! This is it. When everything in this game lines up, when you're surrounded and assaulted on every side fighting for your life under the pressure of complete sensory overload, this game is unfucking beatable. There is simply nothing else like it. This is a high that I haven't felt in my life playing video games almost ever. I was completely overwhelmed by pure joy and excitement and blood-pumping adrenaline, and I don't think that can ever be replicated to the degree of precision and talent that D-Cell has mastered here. Unbeatable White Label is not a long game. You can probably beat it within 2 hours, maybe even an hour, but those 2 hours have stuck with me and have remained in my mind vividly ever since I played this game years ago. It was the best 2 hours this genre of video games has ever given me, and knowing that the full release is coming up next year, I will be there. I am upset that I couldn't back the Slacker backer in time. I would kill for the physical goods this game was offering. But I will absolutely be there when Unbeatable releases. D-Cell has only gotten bigger when I first played it, and it all looks uphill from here. You have something special. Do you hear me, D-Cell? You are unmatched in talent, and I'm keeping an eye on you.